Hey there, so you want to trade more than one account at the same time or copy your trades on Tradovate. Let me show you how to do it. Hey, my name is Rod, the Futures Fanatic. Welcome back to the channel. Futures Fanatic is part of TDG, where we provide education for active futures traders and self-directed investors. Many of you might have recently signed up for Elite Trader Funding. This is Elite Trader Funding, and I have multiple accounts here. One of the great things about how Elite Trader Funding set up their program is that, unlike TopStep, you could actually have more than one evaluation. And if you trade in a prudent, risk-adjusted manner and pass more than one evaluation, you can have more than one funded account. I didn't even get into this in my last video here, which was a 20-minute rant about how maybe a lot of people are approaching these programs with not the exact right perspective. You can certainly watch that at your leisure. But one of the things I forgot to mention when I was talking about payout policies in that video is that one of the advantages of having multiple accounts is that you can take greater payouts overall, because assuming that you are copying your trades, or if you're doing some methodology where you have about the same profit in every account, you can withdraw from each account according to the payout policy. So that's an advantage to multiple accounts that I didn't mention in the previous video. Okay, let's talk about how you actually do this. Now, I'm re-recording this video because I recorded it yesterday, because this is the important point. I'm not a fan of this replicator. I've now used it pretty extensively. It's here. It's called Manage Groups. Okay, you're going to hit the drop down here, and I'll zoom in right here. It's called Manage Groups. Okay, this was never really meant for the use case that some people are now doing, which is trading 3, 4, 5, creating a bunch of different account groups. It gets extremely confusing. So please proceed with caution if you set this up. And I would highly suggest that you test it with just 2 accounts. If you have more than 2 accounts, test it with 1 instrument and 2 accounts till you get the feel for it. I've been doing this a while. I'm building my own replicator, which I've mentioned. It will be much more intuitive, and it'll work a lot more like Flowbots. Flowbots is called Replicanto, which is also white labeled by a bunch of firms as well. But if you're familiar with Replicanto, this is far more clunky than Replicanto, which allows you to replicate over on NinjaTrader. All right, so here's what you're going to want to do. As you can see here, I have 5 different accounts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to hit Manage Groups. All right, and under Manage Groups, the first thing I'm going to do is hit the plus sign, and then I'm going to name it. I'm just going to name it ETF 50K Test, something like that, and I'll hit OK. All right, now I've set that up, and now what I need to do is select the accounts that I want to have in that particular group. I know that the account number 2 and account number 5 are my larger accounts, my 50,000, my 100,000. So I want to just drag over this one right here, and I'm going to drag over this one right here. Okay. Now the quantity I'm going to set to 1. This is where it gets a little clunky, is because if you have these quantities set to 1, you have to kind of choose a lead account. In other words, the account that you place the trade in, and it's going to tell you that you actually need to place 2 in that particular interface, whether it's a chart or a DOM. I'll show you that in just a moment. All right. Now, if you wanted to create other account groups, you could create other account groups, but again, I would recommend, when you're playing around with this and trying it out, that you start with 1 instrument and you start with 1 account group that has no more than 2 in it. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay, I'll hit OK, and I'll close it. By the way, you can do this on the desktop or on the web version of Tradovate. I don't think this functionality is available to set up these groups in mobile. If you want to leave a comment down below if you can set them up in mobile, and you know you can, that'd be fantastic, but you probably just do it on the web. I haven't even looked if the account groups are there and function on mobile, so also leave a comment down below. I'll post this before I check that out. So if you know that account groups work on mobile and you can help out the community, leave a comment and say whether they do or do not. All right, now what you're going to have is all of your accounts here, and you're also going to have this account group called ETF 50K Test. If I click ETF 50K Test, all it's going to do in my positions down here is put in the positions for these 2 accounts, the 01 account and the 03 account. Now today I traded a little bit in these accounts, not through this copier, but I traded a little bit. It's now after hours, we're into the new Globex session, and I don't have any trades in there. So what I'm going to do is come over here and place a trade like in the YM. We'll just choose the YM. Now, what's different about this is that it's not instrument specific, okay? So if you know Replicanto, Replicanto is a lot more intuitive to me because it's it's instrument specific. You can decide which instruments, and you have a lead account and a follower account. This is a little bit more clunky. All right, so I do have my quantity set to 2. Let's say I set it to 1, and I went ahead and said join the bid. Okay, it's going to say total order quantity needs to be a multiple of 2 because it's placing this 2 contracts here and then putting them in the proper account. All right, so I'll switch it to 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and join the bid. By the way, you should watch this video right here on the importance of adding liquidity and joining bid if you're looking to go long, and selling ask if you're looking to go short. Don't ever do a market order. If it looks like it's going to get away from you, you can always drag it into price. For educational purposes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag it into price, and then there we go. Okay, so now we are filled in both of these 2 accounts, the 1 account and the 3 account right here. So you should see that it replicated there. If you keep it simple, let me just join the ask and see if we can, there we go. All right, so what we've done is we have replicated in this account group between these 2. Now watch, if you actually shift off of this to like this account here, then what's weird is, oh, okay, you're always going to have, you can look at 1 account here, but as long as you have this checked, then you're going to be able to see every part of that grouping. I guess if you uncheck it, then it goes away and you'll only see the account that it's part of. Like if I go to 4, right? Or if I go to 5, something like this. There you go. Okay, so if I want to see it, I go to back to make sure it's turned on, and then I will see, now I'll basically see everything that I'll see all the accounts that I have selected here, plus the account grouping there, okay? So it starts to make a little bit of sense. If you wanted to delete it and get rid of it, this isn't super intuitive. What you do is you go to Manage Groups, and you'll see it right here. You actually have to click here, and then there's a little doodatter there, right? So there's a little doodatter there. So let's just go through and do one more real quick. And I don't even remember, so I'm going to look. My 100Ks are a 2 and 5. 2 and 5 are my 100Ks. So let's set one more up just for demonstration purposes. And we'll go here, Manage Groups. We're going to name this one 100K. I deleted the other one, 100K. There we go. Hit OK. And we said 2 and 5, I think. I can't even remember. All right. There we go. There we go. And now let's just drop another one in here. Okay. All right. Hit save. Okay. Hit OK. And close. And now if we go ahead and try to buy the bid, it should tell us that it won't work with 2, right? Because we're going to need 3. Maybe it will. See, this is where I don't quite, oh, I don't have it. Let me exit here. See, I can't even keep this all straight. I have to click on this. Okay. I have to click on that. That has to be active. Okay. So now that that's active, now I can essentially place the trade from any account that's in the group. I think, right? So go ahead and join the bid. Now it's telling me I need 3, right? So now we're going to put 3 here. Hit join bid. Filled. Hit join ask.
Order filled.
By the way, you see how amazing a scalper I am? You don't get those fills. Those of you that are complaining about staying on a demo account even when you've passed and funded, you don't know how good you got it, right? That kind of fill is not generally normal in live markets, all right? But these simulators are pretty good, but you can actually get some really nice scalpy fills if you buy the bid and sell the ask. You want to watch this video here. Anyhow, that's generally how you do it. I think you get the idea. It's account grouping, but I'd be very cautious with it because, like I said, it gets a little confusing. If you've used other replicators or copiers, this one is not really meant to do what people are pushing it to do. It was meant to really have one major account, one sub account, and then maybe also place a trade in a demo account, and then you could manage them separately. By the way, once the trades are placed, I should have shown you this, you can manage each trade independently here on your position. So you can exit one or whatever. There's no concept of syncing, which is actually pretty cool. Now, one last thing I wanted to mention. Some of you guys were asking about a demo account. And to my knowledge, Elite Trader Funding does not provide you a separate demo account when you sign up. You have the demo account that's monitored, right? It's your actual evaluation. There are firms like Earn to Trade and UProfit and a few others that offer a separate demo account that has the same rules on them. But so you don't have that. But what you do have is once you have connected Tradovate to TradingView, I won't go into that in this video. So I'm connected up here to ETF, Elite Trader Funding through Tradovate here on TradingView. What you can do is come in here, and once you've connected, the data is going to be good for some period of time. You're probably going to be connecting quite often, so don't worry about that. But it's at least good enough to then come over here, log out, okay, log out of Tradovate, and now you can log into paper trading, okay? And this is pretty powerful. A lot of folks were unaware of this. In order to trade anything in paper trading on TradingView, you do have to have live real-time data, okay? And live real-time data does not come with most plans. It doesn't come with any of the plans at TradingView. You have to actually have a paid plan, and then I think you have to have a paid plan, but you have to have an account, and then you have to pay for the data. But you're already paying for the data through your ETF Elite Trader Funding evaluation that is using Tradovate. So now you can actually practice on the paper trader over here. And the paper trader works on the TradingView mobile app as well, whereas the connection to live brokers, or in this case a sim demo broker like Tradovate, I know this is a lot of inside baseball. I describe it here on this particular video. But you can actually practice now using real-time live futures data in a demo account that you set up. Now this account balance, I started with 100 grand. I've jacked it all the way up to 293, doing the same stuff I normally do, trading a little bit bigger. But you can set the commissions, you can set the dollar amount, all that kind of stuff. So that's another advantage of Elite Trader Funding that I didn't get into in any of the launch stuff, is that once you have real-time data in TradingView, you can use the paper trader over there. So little bonus here in this particular video. All right, that'll be it for today. We talked about managing groups. Hopefully this was helpful. Leave any comments below if you have any additional questions, or if I completely misled people because you've spent more time with this and there's some tips and tricks that you think the audience should know. I'd really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below so you can help people out. But I will tell you, I've played around with enough to know that you want to start with just one account group and probably just one symbol till you get the feel for it and see how it all works out. Okay, if you mess something up and the machine gets locked or your browser gets locked and you're using this manage groups replicator, it's allowed, but it's not encouraged. And I can't tell you what their support group or whatever is going to do if you do some wacky thing when you're doing something that's not discouraged, that's not encouraged. Okay, all right, that'll be it for tonight. I'm Rod, the Futures Fanatic, reminding you to stay green, trade like you mean it. Thanks.